Have you ever dreamed of doing your own game? You're going on the internet and looking where to start, getting overwhelmed with all these recommendations out there. In short, you don't need to know everything to get started. Just pick one video, choose a tutorial, and adjust or extend what you have learned. And that's it. Let me tell you what matters. What if I'm not able to make a game? If I'm not smart enough? I say everyone is, you don't have to be born for it. It's crazy what happened to game dev in the last decades. But why has it become easier to start with game dev? More people playing video games and want to start game dev. There is a bunch of tutorials out there and very intuitive tools with features to improve your workflow. This was not always the case. Back to time, you would have started from scratch. Building your own systems, graphical layers and physics. Today you don't have to. You shouldn't bother yourself with it. You want to make games, not tools, right? Let me give you a short overview. There are different levels or layers. Levels in which you can build your game. First, the low level way. Making your own game engine for your game. You have to choose a programming language, you have to learn code, no matter the layer you work in. But it will get harder if you choose to own engine attempt. You have to build your tools with low-level libraries like OpenGL or Vulkan and have to deal with physics libraries. Nothing beginners should necessarily deal with when want to create games. Second point, using libraries and frameworks to build your game. Do you know Stardew Valley or Terraria? Those games are not built inside a game engine like Unity. They are created with a C# library. If you primarily like to code and don't want to bother yourself with too many features, Pygame or Monogame are idle entry points. Last point, you could use a game engine. Why should I use a game engine? Game engines offer you many tools you potentially need at some point, like animations, visual effects or post-processing and so many more. The best thing a game engine does, it gives you time to build your game, and this is crucial. Making games already takes a lot of time and you want to reduce it. Why you should bother yourself doing all from scratch? Browsing the internet, I get a sense that people believe that using a game engine is like cheating. Your game isn't real if you made it in Unity or something. Game development shouldn't be about prestige or pride, but about having fun. Creativity doesn't have to be complicated to get honored. No one will remember you for using your own engine. Keeping this in mind will make game development a more enjoyable experience. It's the creation that matters, not the creator, and only a few people even think about the tools used. But what would be the benefit of the hard work? Developers argue that you learn more by creating your own engine. This is true to some extent. It's beneficial to know how an engine works under the hood. However, I think it's overrated when it comes to game development. It took me a long time to realize that I don't need to know everything. In my studies, understanding a problem often came after execution and testing. Execution is so important. What matters is how you can achieve your goal. Having a goal is crucial, and it's important that you don't lie to yourself. Be honest. Do you want to build a game? Do you want to ship it on Steam? Use an engine, don't make one. Having fun is also important. Do you love the learning experience? Do you love to code or want to learn it? Then you should not start creating a game engine, but it could be your long-term goal if you want. Still, you can use a game engine for learning things and having fun. One day is not enough when trying things out. Work on one thing for a fixed period of time, for example 1 week. Sticking to this is very important and sets a clear goal. It takes time to get used to it and understand its purpose. Give yourself the time you need. Or take 2 weeks depending how busy your life is. This way you will encounter what is for you and what not. Let's take a look on the most important game engines. Game engines are either proprietary or open source. This is a crucial decision point for those aiming to make money. Today, we will focus on Unity, Unreal and Godot. Of course, there are many more. Unity is the choice for small and medium-sized game developers. With the programming language C#, you get a lot of flexibility to code your game. Unity has the ability to export to all major platforms, including consoles. There's a large community and many extensions that take a lot of the work of your hands. You will find many successful games with Unity, like The Forest or Escape from Tarkov. There's probably more online material available than any other engine. Unreal is a monster in game development. With Unreal, you can create high-quality, powerful 3D games. You use C++ or Blueprints, which is a visual scripting language you can use, to build your logic. It's important to note that your game content makes the graphics shine. However, Unreal makes it easier for you to quickly create visibility stunning worlds through its presets and features. If you're looking for create large worlds, Unreal would definitely be a game changer for you. All engines I introduced are proprietary in some ways, but there is Godot, a free open source game engine. And it gains a lot of popularity in the last few years. It becomes the engine I primarily use for my own projects. That I've been uploaded my first game on Steam made with Godot. Feel free to check it out, link in the description. So what can I expect from Godot? I've never seen a better 2D workflow. Let me try to explain what I really love about Godot. In Godot, you organize nodes, each representing a class in Godot. You can create a custom node, which script extends from an existing node. These nodes can be grouped together in a scene or scene tree. A scene can, in turn, include multiple scenes, allowing you to create a tree of nodes and scenes. That brings you a lot of flexibility in return. But why do I choose Godot for 3D games then? For me, Force is the future of freedom. Godot will become even better when more people are going to use it. You should always use the engine you are comfortable with. For me, that's Godot. That doesn't mean that should be a religion. Whenever there is a reason for another game engine, put that for your next project. This is just my opinion. Choose Unity or Unreal for a better experience in 3D. Since we're talking about getting started, the task is to figure out what you actually want to achieve. The goal should be to create a small game within 1 or 2 weeks. The time frame is crucial and shouldn't be changed. This gives you a framework within which to work. Now, what should you develop? It could be anything, but it shouldn't be too difficult. It doesn't have to be a Pong or Tetris clone. It can be something you would enjoy and actually play. Many beginners have romanticized notions about developing dream games. They invest time in their project, and a few weeks later, they have new ideas and start over. That was the case for me a long time. And the key is to choose something that interests you and aligns with your skills. Starting small allows you to learn and iterate quickly, gaining confidence along the way. Remember, the most important thing is to enjoy the process of creating your game. But what if you can't do art? Guess what, you don't have to. Go to itch.io/game-assets and find the assets you need. Make sure to check the license though. Another great resource is Kenny. He offers free-to-use assets for your next 2D or 3D projects as a template or anything. And you also should check Humble Bundle time by time, because they sometimes offer asset bundles or sound packs for very cheap prices you can use in your projects. Don't bother yourself learning 2 things at once if you feel overwhelmed by doing one. So if I were to start over, I would not just watch a tutorial, but rather build it step by step, expanding and customizing the project along the way. For example, you could add unique mechanics to your game, colorize it a little bit, or build new levels. This approach achieves a much better learning effect. However, the goal isn't to watch tutorials after tutorials. What we watch, we eventually forget, and it makes us passive. This is the crucial problem with it. You have to execute to improve. So go and stop watching. See ya.